Burundi, a landlocked country in East Africa, is known as one of the poorest countries globally, facing significant challenges that have contributed to its economic struggles. The country's history has been marked by political upheavals, coups, civil war, and authoritarian governance, leading to a long-standing cycle of conflict and instability. The history of Burundi is characterized by a rich and complex narrative that dates back to the 16th century. Originally a small kingdom in the African Great Lakes region, Burundi emerged as a significant entity under the rule of Ntare IV Rudaganzwa Rugamba, who saw the kingdom double in size during his reign from about 1796 to 1850. The Kingdom of Burundi was known for its hierarchical political structure and tributary economic exchanges, shaping its socio-political landscape. During the colonial era, Burundi, along with Rwanda and Tanganyika, became part of the German Protectorate of East Africa in 1890 before being awarded to Belgium after World War I. The Belgian colonial administrators reorganized Burundi in the late 1920s, leading to significant changes in governance and social structures. The colonial period also saw the establishment of ethnic categories like Hutu and Tutsi, which were solidified by European powers and contributed to ethnic tensions post-independence. Burundi gained independence on July 1, 1962, but discord and violence marked the country's early years as an independent nation. The assassination of Prime Minister Prince Rwagasore in 1961 ushered in a period of crisis that has had lasting effects on the country. Ethnic conflict between the Hutu and Tutsi populations has been a recurring challenge in Burundi's history, leading to significant human suffering and political instability. Burundi's economy heavily relies on agriculture, with 80% of the population employed in this sector. The country's GDP per capita ranks it as the poorest nation on earth, highlighting the severe economic conditions faced by its population. The socio-economic measures in Burundi paint a grim picture, with the UN Human Development Index ranking the country among the lowest globally in terms of longevity, education, and inequality. The failed coup in 2015 further exacerbated existing challenges, leading to a decline in the economy, looting of public resources, and reduced social benefits. Despite some progress noted by the UN since then, political violence continues to plague the nation, hindering sustainable development efforts. Burundi's economic activity remains fragile and vulnerable to shocks, with GDP growth projected at 2.9% in 2023 driven by agriculture and services sectors. However, challenges such as high inflation rates, food and fuel price increases, and fiscal deficits continue to impact the country's economic stability. The World Food Programme, WFP, plays a crucial role in addressing food insecurity and malnutrition in Burundi through various programs aimed at improving resilience, providing life-saving support to vulnerable populations, and enhancing food production and distribution systems. The main causes of poverty in Burundi stem from a complex interplay of historical, political, and economic factors that have contributed to the country's economic struggles. Here are some key reasons behind the poverty in Burundi. Conflict and instability. Burundi has a history of civil wars and political unrest dating back to its independence from Belgium in 1962. These conflicts have led to instability, hindering economic growth and development. The civil wars have disrupted agriculture, the backbone of Burundi's economy, leading to increased poverty levels. Inefficient management of public finances, the government's interference in the economy, poor economic planning, and weak management of public resources have hindered economic growth in Burundi. This lack of economic freedom and mismanagement have limited entrepreneurial activities and investment opportunities. Limited land resources. Burundi is a densely populated country with limited arable land available for agriculture. Land scarcity has led to conflicts over land ownership, impacting the livelihoods of the majority who rely on subsistence farming for survival. Natural disasters and climate change. Burundi is vulnerable to climate-related shocks such as droughts, floods, and soil degradation. These environmental challenges exacerbate food insecurity, affecting agricultural productivity and livelihoods. High unemployment rates. The country faces high unemployment rates, particularly among youth. Tackling unemployment requires active labor participation and initiatives to integrate youth into the workforce. Poor access to basic services. Burundi struggles with inadequate infrastructure, low access to clean water, healthcare, and education services. These deficiencies contribute to the perpetuation of poverty in the country. Political instability. Political crises and governance issues have left a lasting impact on Burundi's economy and social welfare systems. Efforts to address poor governance and attract foreign investment are ongoing but face significant challenges. Visa requirements. Travelers from the United States need a visa to enter Burundi. This can be obtained before travel at any Burundian diplomatic mission. It is essential to check the most current visa information by visiting the Embassy of Burundi website or contacting the nearest Burundi embassy or consulate. Travel advisory. The U.S. Department of State advises reconsidering travel to Burundi due to concerns related to crime, health, and political violence. Some areas in Burundi have an increased risk, and travelers should read the entire travel advisory before planning their trip. Health precautions. It is recommended to be up to date on all vaccinations recommended by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention before traveling to Burundi. Additionally, travelers should consider supplemental insurance for medical evacuations and carry prescription medication in its original packaging with a doctor's prescription. Safety concerns. Burundi faces security challenges, including incidents of violence, roadblocks, and crime. Security forces routinely search vehicles and homes, which can impact travelers, including foreigners and U.S. citizens. It is important to be aware of these risks and take necessary precautions while traveling in the country. Local regulations. Travelers should be mindful of local regulations in Burundi, such as restrictions on photography, especially of government buildings and military installations, and the requirement to register SIM cards with a copy of ID or passport. It is also important to respect cultural norms and seek permission before taking photos of individuals' currency and services. The official currency in Burundi is the Burundian franc, BIF, although U.S. currency may be required in certain cases. Travelers should be prepared for power outages that may affect public services like access to potable water and consider carrying sufficient cash for transactions. Transportation. Due to safety concerns, it is advisable to hire private transportation from reliable sources rather than using public transportation like taxis, taxi-motos, or buses. Fatal collisions are reported frequently, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing safety while moving around in Burundi.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by pressing button below.